Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. Today is our second festival day of fall, and it's a pretty important one because we have to sort of plan around the fact that we're going to be skipping a bazaar next week, the one and only time that this happens in the entire game, where they just don't bother to reschedule it for a Friday or a Monday, which kind of boggles my mind considering how important the bazaar is. However, I will plan accordingly and hopefully I will be able to get everything that I want and need to carry me through. So this is a good opportunity to look and see what birthdays are coming up. So Ivan's birthday is coming up before the next bazaar, for example, so this would be a good chance for you to get something gift wrapped for him if you like. I did quite a bit of inventory management before I went to bed last night, and I have quite a bit of stuff to actually pick out in the fields, which is going to take a great deal of time. So I'm just getting started nice and early today because this will take some time. But, I mean, the plus side is that I will have lots to sell. My wallet doesn't look too shabby right now, and it's not like I have to spend a lot of money on seeds because I don't need to replace my yams or my yellow peppers or my eggplants, just my carrots really. And even if Chen doesn't have them, I do have a replacement for them, so I can at least plant them this week. But honestly, if Chen doesn't have carrot seeds and I hadn't already played ahead, I would reload until he had them. Because unlike Raoul, the reloading actually seems to scramble his inventory like it's supposed to. And I sure wish that there was a tool that made picking this stuff faster, but as far as I know, such a thing does not exist. I miss the new Wonderful Life remake where you can actually use your sickle to gather your crops once they're matured. It doesn't destroy them, but it just mass picks everything all at once. But I guess that's what you get sometimes for playing games that are in an older era. It doesn't make these games any less fun, but it is one of those things where you notice some of the improvements and the changes that they've made for the better, just to make things a little bit less tedious, easier to manage, and you don't have to waste hours of your day doing this. I would be too scared to try using the sickle on these crops, honestly. And picking all of this is literally gonna take me right up until when I have to leave for the bazaar. And I don't want to be too late today because I'm gonna need all the time that I can get. But I am going to stop and do a little bit of cooking before we leave. because we can actually do something with those yams to further increase the amount of money that we can get from them. And if you don't have cooking utensils, don't worry, you don't need cooking utensils for this. In fact, you can just use a yam on its own, and we will be able to make it into a baked yam. So this will increase the quality of our yam by half a star, similar to what we were seeing when we made turnip salads. It's the same sort of a deal. So it does increase the quality of the item, but it also increases the value because we're cooking it. I used my leftover radishes and some of my milk to make some radish soup. I've got lots of food today, and I will worry about watering when I get home. Today is a day when I really only have time to water once. I sort of sacrificed that little bit of extra growth time. I just simply don't have the time. I'm already arriving at the bazaar a little later than I wanted to, but that's alright. We have quite a bit to sell today, and this is also the first bazaar that we're going to be seeing our longer counter. So we're going to be able to put out a lot more items at one time, and hopefully it'll get everything sold. So I'm kind of just looking to put a little bit of a variety of stuff out. You can see I have some dragonflies that are actually worth a decent amount of money. And I'm also going to put my carrots out because these are a fantastic money maker. I think I've talked about it before, but even if you choose not to spend money on fertilizer for carrots, say you just can't be bothered or you want to save your money, you will still get double what you paid for on the base quality of carrot, which is pretty incredible. They are a very, very profitable option. We're off to a good start here. We've got some people coming up and talking to us. We've actually sold a few things. And you can see just how much more space there is to sell stuff. Ooh, you're gonna buy 7 of those. Thank you very much. Please do more of that because I have a lot of product to go through here. I don't actually know how much I'm going to sell, to be honest, but we'll just have to see. If I sell the majority of my stuff, I should be totally fine. There is also an item that I completely forgot to grab. I was too focused on the time, but we have a ball of wool that I put into our windmill to be processed, and I totally forgot to grab it. I'm sure there's also some other stuff in my inventory that I could have grabbed as well, but there's certain things that I'm kind of saving for later because we can do more with it once we unlock our next windmill. Ugh, and we're getting some good customers today. We got the lady that's willing to pay double for stuff, which I just love. Thank you very much. We might have a bit of a challenge getting rid of all those yams. People have been buying them, but we just have so many of them. Yeah, pretty steady stream of customers actually. If this keeps up, I'll have plenty of time to do some shopping. Still have lots of time in the day. And you can see with a longer counter and more choices for people, I feel like you get stuff sold a lot faster. I don't know if it's because the bazaar has actually expanded, but there actually seems to be more people here as well, which obviously doesn't hurt. You are looking for the wrapping stall, which is down and to the left. We might get the customer service award if we keep this up. Alright, let's have a quick look in my inventory here. I gotta put a few more things out. I'm keeping the salads, but I brought them with me. And just so you can see, they are worth about $430 to sell at 2.5 stars. But yeah, I am really cleaned out. There's not a whole lot else that I have here. 35,000 is okay. We definitely will not be making the sales goal. I just don't have enough to sell, which seems insane considering I brought a lot of stuff to sell. But $80,000 to $100,000 really requires a lot of items to sell that are worth quite a bit of money, whereas for the most part, when we look at something like the baked yams, it's just numbers. It's a numbers game. We have a lot of them, but they don't sell for a lot of money. So it's gonna take a long time for us to make money selling them. But they're still a great option for fall just because of how many you'll get by the end of the season, because they grow so quickly. So hopefully we can just get these last few baked yams sold. Wow, okay, that's all that's left. Okay. I mean, it might take us a little while because people might not be interested in it, but hopefully we can just get a steady stream of people in here, get these sold, and do our shopping. It's been a pretty busy bazaar day, which is nice. This is exactly what we needed to try and get rid of all this stuff that we have, so it doesn't take up space in our inventory, and so it doesn't go bad as we wait for our next bazaar. Alright, people, I don't know how many more I have. I haven't looked. I should probably check. But you want to be careful when you're trying to check what you have to put on your counter, because if someone's going to come up and buy something, it interrupts that cycle. I have 13 left. Okay, not that bad. Just a few more, folks. And actually, I gotta say, not too shabby of profits. I can live with that. I think that's more than enough for what I want to buy today. Ugh, come on, I gotta be getting near the end here. I'm so close, people. And I still need to do my own shopping. Set me free by buying my yams. Thank you, Sun Hat Lady. I am done at $59,900, which is a very nice, satisfying number to end off on. We have 76 grand to go out and blow on a few things today before we go. And there's also some new stalls at the bazaar as well now that it's expanded. So luckily, Chen has the carrot seeds for us, and I'm going to buy an entire replacement field of these. They only take about a week to grow, and we will not be able to come back and buy some from him next week. So I bought more seeds than I needed last week. So this week I only need to compensate for 1 week at a time. But you'll basically want to do the math and figure out how many seeds it is that you need to carry you through 2 weeks until you can get to the next bazaar. So for me, that's going to be 48 of them. At the cookware stand, I am going to buy a frying pan next. Keep in mind that we have the cooking festival coming up, so if you haven't bought a pot, at least, I would recommend that. Frying pan would be the next logical step, and I'm gonna hold off on the last cooking utensil until a little bit later on in the fall. And then let's see what Enrique has. What do you have for animals? I want to buy a sheep. There we go. I was gonna say if the game would let me select one, that would be grand. We don't have a sheep yet. It's kind of the last animal that we haven't gotten, and I think it's a good chance for us to grab one now. We have the time, we have the money, things are going well with the rest of the animals. From Felix, I keep forgetting to buy the stupid brush. I've forgotten, I think, 2 or 3 bazaars in a row now. So I'm going to buy the stupid brush. It can live in my inventory. I'll just have to maneuver my way around it. And it will help with the affection of the sheep and the cow as well. Next up, we're gonna go and see Lloyd now. And if you have the extra money to do this, at this point, I would buy some ore because you might be able to do some upgrading of your tools. And if you decide that you want to do it next week, you won't be able to because you won't be able to come and buy things. There's a good chance you're going to get some rain in this season, so if you're thinking about upgrading your tools and you have some extra cash, then go for it. But we will have a lot of opportunity to upgrade our tools during the winter time, so don't feel rushed or pressured to do this now. I'm going to buy 2 pieces of orichalcum rather than worry about my hoe at the moment. I'm going to leave the mithril behind because I don't really see myself needing the hoe for the rest of the season. Because I don't need to replant yams, I don't need to replant peppers, and I should be able to have a pretty consistent stream of carrots going on. So I'm going to buy those in preparation for doing some upgrades later on. And because I have the leftover money and it's an upgrade that is very long overdue, we are going to order Wilbur to expand our storage. I couldn't believe that this only cost $20,000. We did look that up last time. I probably could have gotten this quite a while ago if I had kind of remembered that it was available. Definitely going to be doing this now, and it's really going to come in handy because we have to wait that extra week in between our next bazaar. So yes, please expand my storage. Alright, so we still have $12,000 and I've pretty much bought the majority of everything that I wanted to buy. So with my little bit of extra pocket change, I am going to go to the wrapping stall and I'm going to wrap all of these salads for Sherry that I brought with me. So remember when you're wrapping things that you have to have the item with you. You can't pick something out of storage, which is why I brought it with me today. Unfortunately, you have to sit here and wrap items one by one. She doesn't just let you pick multiple items in a stack. So this is kind of a little bit of a painful process, but fortunately, the gifted wrapped items will stack if they're all the same. So I don't have to sit here with 6 presents in my inventory, taking up 6 inventory slots. This is only because I have some extra money. It's really extreme overkill if you're not in a rush to get married, really, because most of the gifts that we've been giving the girls are worth about 150 points. By wrapping these in Sherry's favorite wrapping paper, this is a gift that's worth 1,100 points. And she is gonna have a red heart long before the other marriage candidates. So it might be a good idea for you to sell these, maybe just keep a couple. You can do what you want, but I just think, hey, if Sherry wins in the wife poll, then she's all ready to go. I don't have to waste any more time. I could just marry her right away when the time comes, and then I can focus my attention on other girls as well. So I'm just kind of being an opportunist here and taking the opportunity to do that while it's here. I have now done all of my shopping, and I'm going to spend the last little bit of the bazaar looking at some of our new stalls that we have. So in the very, very bottom left corner here, we have the Lucky Lotto. You can buy a ticket for 300 gold. Let's just do it for the sake of showcasing it. And basically, if you are a winner, you will get an item, but it's completely random by chance. You don't have to do this. This lotto doesn't give you anything super, super rare. There is a store later on when we expand the bazaar again that might be worth playing, but I'm going to save my money for now. Right above the wrapping stall, we have an old man here who will read your fortune for $100. This is purely for fun. This doesn't tell you anything important, relevant, nothing. It's basically just flavor, I guess, just some variety to the bazaar. It's kind of interesting that they would add a stall that adds no real purpose. You should carefully choose what you want to buy before you shop. Wow, thank you. Absolute genius. So worth my money. And then beside the wrapping stall, all these shops are kind of set up in this left-hand corner. You can see that Claire has actually set up her own food stall. And she just has different dishes than what Joan has, but nothing special. I still think unless there's a reason for buying food, it's better just to make it yourself. But who knows, maybe Claire will have something that is worth buying somewhere down the line. So we just have another option of some food to buy at the bazaar. And then right below Lloyd, in the bottom right corner, all the way on the other side, we have Isaac here, and he is selling information. So it's kind of like hints, tips, rumors. Sometimes it's just common sense. He also charges $100, but this is another one of those things where it's not really worth the money. Anything Isaac tells you, I could tell you for free. Have you tried jumping on the barrels that are around town? They can help you jump much higher. But I'm too heavy to jump on them. It makes me sad. Oh, that's actually kind of depressing. I'm sorry. But yes, I have. And many of his tips are like that. It's basically just duh. No, doesn't really add any value to the game whatsoever. So that is where we're at. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover today, and with perfect timing because the bazaar is going to end really soon. So it's time for me to make my exit. We'll go home, get into bed, and look at our bazaar results for tomorrow. Definitely going to take a back seat on getting in the top 3 from now on because the sales goal is just so incredibly high now. However, if we have a week's break from selling stuff, we might be able to get in that bracket when we have our next bazaar. And of course, Enrique is going to come by and he's going to offer us a sheep tutorial, but I'm actually going to skip this one because it's pretty much identical as taking care of cows, except you get wool instead. So we're gonna have to wait for our sheep to grow up. We're not gonna be able to get any wool from it until it's an adult. Enrique is nice enough to leave us with a pair of shears to sit and rot in our inventory until such a time as we can use them. That is definitely a quality of life upgrade that I would have chosen for this game, would have been to have a separate compartment of your storage just for tools without taking up space in your main storage. And speaking of storage, hey Wilbur, he increased our space for us in our storage. Heck yes. Now his next upgrade is going to be a lot more expensive than 20 grand. However, I think I can live with that. I now have 12 more spaces of storage, and I think that that's really going to help a lot so that we can keep our vegetables and stuff fresh until we get to the next bazaar. So if our carrots come in, if we get more yams, yellow peppers, all of that stuff is going to be able to stay in our storage, and it's going to be able to stay fresher for longer. So the last thing of the video is just to go and hear our bazaar results. We may get good customer service though. That is a possibility. So I think it's worth hearing. $79,000. Yep, we definitely didn't get anywhere near that. Apparently Lloyd sold a lot of ore today. Not just to me, but to other people. And Raoul sold a lot of yams. People must have bought my baked yams and been inspired to go and grow their own yams. You know, that I think that's the story and I'm sticking to it. And apparently Wilbur built a lot of stuff, so there you go. $121,000 worth of profit in a single day. We have yet to reach that level. Aw, and we didn't even get the customer service award. I thought we actually had a really good chance. We had a decent stream of customers, but Alas. Yeah, we're gonna need to sell a lot more stuff before we can get to be the best in the continent, Felix. I think you need to cool your jets a little bit. So I shouldn't need anything until our next bazaar. I should be set. The big thing for me was having enough carrot seeds to be able to plant those and grow 2 weeks worth, which I have, and that's not a problem. If I need fertilizer, I can buy it from Raoul. And I don't really have a need for money otherwise at this point. I'm sort of self sufficient right now, which is wonderful. So we don't need to worry about another bazaar for a while. However, I do have a gift video planned for later on this week, and then we will get into our 2-day weekend cooking festival at the end of the week, which is pretty exciting. I'm gonna play a little bit more, make some progress, and check in with you guys very soon. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.